Has Damian Wayne been sent careening on a trip through time? What will this mean for the Lazarus Tournament? Well, let's hop into the pages of Robin issue number 10 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up from where the last issue had left off, Damian had finally managed to make it to the final round of the Lazarus Tournament. His evil great-grandmother had completed her plan of resurrecting the demon of Lazarus. Together with all the other combatants, Damian was able to take the monster down, but before he could deal with Soul directly, the old witch managed to use her considerable magic powers to send him back in time, but not just to any point in time, a very important point in the Ghoul family history. Older Mother Soul of the past is actually quite welcome and accommodating to Damian, telling her all about her faith in the demon of Lazarus and how she believes it's the key to curing her own illness. In another interesting reversal of fortunes, a young Ra's al Ghul, new physician to the Sultan, thinks all this demon nonsense is crazy. He believes that only science and logic can save his mother and none of this whole demon magic thing. It's right after this conversation Mother Soul ends up keeling over, but she doesn't stay dead because guess what? This isn't really a time travel story. Instead, it's one of those trapped inside memory stories. Knowing how close her defeat was, Mother Soul has decided to take Damian back and show him the very secret origins of the Ghoul family and their history with the Lazarus pits. His friends also can't help him here as their two souls are essentially intertwined right now, and even if they did deal with Mother Soul in the physical world, it would just end up killing Damian too. After we discover after Soul died originally, her son Ra's made it his life's mission to destroy any mention of the Lazarus demon from the world, burning books, sacking cities, etc, etc. He vowed that if anyone was to save and resurrect his mother, it would be him using the scientific method. This is how he first went about finding and mastering the powers of the Lazarus pits. Though perhaps it wasn't really so much about bringing his mother back to life as it was having a test subject so he could eventually resurrect his beloved wife Sora. Ra's believed so much in the scientific method and dispelling all superstition, he actually used the Lazarus pit on himself first. When he came out, he declared himself Ra's al Ghul, the demon's head, a real flesh and blood man greater than any old demonic superstition. It was after that he decided to take his mother's bones to the pit, which is interesting because given everything we know about the pit, usually if you've been dead for that long, the power of the Lazarus pit doesn't work on you. This time it did, and Mother Soul was reborn, de-aged, and also came out kinda hot. What's up with that? Unsurprisingly, being reborn didn't actually dissuade any of Mother Soul's belief in the demon of Lazarus. Quite the opposite, it only fed her fanatical fervor. After that, a war between mother and son for the fate of the Lazarus pits was only natural. Naturally, the League of Assassins and the League of Shadows would end up backing Ra's in his battle against his mother, who led the League of Lazarus. Their order was made up mostly of priests and scientists, and as such they were easily defeated, but when the time came for Ra's al Ghul to finish off his mother, he just couldn't do it because, well, even bad men love their mamas, don't you know? So instead, Ra's decided to go against his own beliefs and use a little bit of demonic magic to lock his mother on Lazarus Island for all time. Which actually ends up making perfect sense when we consider we haven't seen or heard about this woman until right now. Mother Soul couldn't leave the island, so instead she decided to start the Lazarus Tournament. Every 100 years, the greatest fighters and killers would descend on the island in hopes of winning a great prize, but instead they were sacrificed to the demon of the pit. Unlike Ra's, who believed that the world was actually worth saving through ecological intervention, Mother Soul believed that much like herself, the world needs to die before it can be remade. And now that Soul is so deep inside her great-grandson's head, she decides to share these same cursed demonic visions with him in hopes that will end up forcing his hand. Only hey, you know what? Leave it to Damian for being able to turn the tables. Soul thought that she was getting inside his head this whole time, but in fact Robin was actually just letting her talk so he could get inside hers and beat her. Damian manages to escape Mother Soul's psychic grip, but the question still stands, what exactly are they going to do with her right now? Will Damian be able to finish the job that his grandfather couldn't do? Are the cursed visions of destruction he's been shown really something that's going to come to pass? Well, we'll have to find out for sure in the next issue, as when everything comes to a close, Ra's and Talia actually show up. up. And so that was Robin issue number 10, everybody, and overall it was quite the subversion of expectations, wasn't it? I really did expect the next arc was going to be one giant time travel story where we learned the dark secrets of the Ghoul family. Admittedly, we got it all in one issue, but I really did expect them to milk the concept a little bit more than they did. If nothing else, this issue does do a good job shining the light on how all the Ghoul family in every generation usually have some sort of moral, ethical divide in them, and that the kind of antagonistic relationship Raish had with his own mother is now playing out with Damian and his mom. I also still very much hold the conspiracy theory in mind that this book will somehow see fit to resurrecting Alfred, and now that we know the Lazarus Pit or one of them can bring back a person from just bones, I don't see why they wouldn't follow up on that. Overall, I'd feel comfortable giving this one an 8 out of 10. The Robin book continues to impress and surprise me with all the different twists and turns that it takes.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.